Hello, everyone. Welcome to what is this one? Project Hail Mary live show. So we're going to be talking about Project Hail Mary. We can do a spoiler-free section in the beginning and then start getting into spoilers later on. But welcome, everyone. Let me know in the chat if you guys did read this book, and we can start out with ratings and overall thoughts and all that kind of stuff. I'm excited to talk about this book. Janelle, what is your current situation with it? I know you were struggling to finish it.
I know, yeah. So I physically read up to what did I read to? 120 or something. And I was really enjoying it. But because we're approaching a new month, I don't know what it is, but the end of the month, I just start to be like, okay, where's the next month? Let's just move on. So I ended up just reading chapter summaries, I searched the chapter summaries and read through those all the way to the end.
Okay.
So I know what happens.
Okay.
I know what goes on. But as far as the writing style and all that, I can only judge as far as I read. But I loved as far as I read. So
okay, well, that's good. And that's actually a pretty good way of rating this book, I think, because there were some times for me when I feel like I just needed the summary. So I'm glad that you did that, though, so you know exactly what happened. And that makes sense. But so because when did we start this? When I had those sprints, that was 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, feels like forever.
It does feel like a very long time. But yeah, I mean, it's a thick book, so if you were trying to read the whole thing, I understand. I had the audio, and I think that's what really helped me get through it in a decent time span.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. So I'm glad that you know exactly what happens, and you skipped all the excessive. Well, does the summaries probably doesn't have the dialogue though, huh?
It doesn't have too much of the dialogue, but I got the gist of what went on. I still felt emotionally attached as far as the summaries went, so it wasn't super bland. But when I was reading the summaries, I was even thinking to myself what else could this book possibly have added? Because I felt like I got what was going on the whole time, and I was like,
yeah,
what is the majority of the pages then? Because I was like,
yeah,
I feel like this was enough.
Yeah, no, that's funny. It did feel very descriptive and wordy, and there were lots of sections that I talked about this in my vlog that I did, where it just felt kind of unnecessary, but it was fine, and it was part of the experience or whatever. And I felt dumb. Actually, I woke up this morning and someone had commented on my video on my vlog about how I kept saying oh, there's just so much science-y talk or whatever. And the comment was wow, science in a science fiction, or whatever. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I didn't really think about that. There was actual science for the science fiction, but
yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I appreciated how realistic that made the book feel. But it also just made me feel really dumb. And I don't I'm sure a lot of people can relate. It didn't if you're not a scientist or if you're not, whatever, sometimes it was hard to picture what Ryland was talking about.
Yeah.
But then it was also not really that important to keep track of, because I was just in it for the storyline. But anyway, yeah, it was good. So do you feel like you can rate it since you didn't actually read it, or what do you think? What are you gonna do?
I feel like if I were to rate it, it would be a 4.5. I genuinely enjoyed it, but I'm not going to rate it as far as my Goodreads goes or anything like that. I'm not going to publicly rate it, because I feel like it's a little bit unfair, even though it's a good rating, since I didn't finish the whole book. I didn't technically read the whole thing.
Yeah.
But based on the writing that I read, I thought it had a lot of humor that I laughed at. I thought it was really good. But I am curious, is like all of the factual tidbits, like, are they real? Like, I want to know if I actually learned something. Like, did I actually learn
Yeah.
this?
And that's what I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't know. Like I was wondering if what he was talking, yeah, some of the things he was talking about, if that's like actually real too. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. I gave it 5 stars for anyone who doesn't know. I loved it because of the dialogue. Like
Mm-hmm.
the dialogue was really great, and the internal monologue was great, and just like a fun, adventurous story. Like it was just so enjoyable, and um, I I loved that there were aliens. I'm just gonna
Yes.
drop that in there. Like I feel like I didn't want to mention it in my vlog because I feel like that's kind of a spoiler, but
Well, I feel like you find out soon enough in the book to where it wouldn't really be a spoiler.
yeah, but
Also,
I was so blown away by it that I was like, "Oh my gosh." Or I guess I just didn't read into the synopsis enough. I probably could have gathered it if I really like thought, but I was so like taken aback by that and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool." Like I had no idea. So I kind of want like other people to have that experience and not like
mhm.
expect an alien to come up. But anyway, so I loved learning about Rocky and like everything that was different, like with him and just all the descriptions of like what he looked like and all that stuff. Um, so he was probably my favorite character. I mean, I know there were only like 2, but and then
Yeah.
there were the like flashbacks with all the other people, and I didn't
Mhm.
really care about that at all. So that was the only part that I was like,
Yeah, I mean, a few of the flashbacks I thought were like pretty cool. Like as far as like the beginning goes, I feel like the flashbacks were really helpful
yeah,
to understand how he got there. But once I knew how he got there, I was kind of like, I don't really care about the flashbacks. Like
yeah,
I care about like what's ahead kind
yeah,
of thing. So yeah, occasionally I did feel like, okay, this flashback didn't really tell me anything.
yeah. It felt really slow paced in that sense. Because I
Hmm.
was like, yeah, we already know like how where he ended up. Like, why do we need to know
Yeah.
this? But hi everyone, hello. Tell me what you loved about this book, Elena. And I know you gave it 5 stars. You had told me. Um, hello, hi, hello everyone. So yeah, we can talk more about like our favorite parts. And I do have some tabs that I can go through. It's kind of bright.
Too.
Let's see. There we go. I tabbed like all of the funny interactions between um, Ryland and Rocky. Like I was laughing so much throughout this whole book because of the dialogue. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
Let me see. Like I loved how like sarcastic it was sometimes with Ryland. Like Ryland was just such a character. I loved him too. It's
Yes.
kind of hard to pick between Ryland and Rocky, but I thought Rocky was so interesting,
Hmm.
obviously, because he's an alien. Um, but it was so like adventurous. I just loved it. So did you get to the part at all or like read when Rocky was speaking? Like did you get to those parts? Or did you read the chapter summaries of that?
I didn't, but now I'm interested.
Because in the book before Ryland like learns the language,
Hmm.
there's musical notes for
Oh,
for
that's
how he
so
talks.
cool.
Um,
See them.
Loved the dialogue also, loved the alien aspect, and I adored Rocky. Yes, my thoughts exactly. Why did I put my Project Hail Mary book away? Where is it? Go get it. Did you annotate or highlight it all, Elena? And you?
I did in the beginning, obviously. I was actually like heavily annotating in the beginning. But
Yeah,
then, I don't know, I always get to a point with annotating where I feel like it's slowing me down when I try
yeah,
to heavily annotate like that. So I just kind of it just kind of fizzled out eventually, but it wasn't because I hated the book. It was just because I needed to move faster.
Yeah. Okay, this is me too. I loved how many times Rocky commented on how dumb humans are and how what we do he didn't understand. I LOL'd a ton while listening to the audiobook. Yeah, this was me too. I just thought it was so funny how it made humans sound so lame. Like this whole page, I was I was like just going ham with like the part where um he finds out how old Iridians live. So let's see. And
180 miles or
he
something.
had been stuck he had been stuck out in space or whatever for 46 years, longer than Rylan had been alive. And then he's like, "How long do Iridians live?" He goes, "Average is 689 years." He goes, "Earth years?" "Yes, always Earth units. You are bad at math, so always Earth units." And then the chapter ends with him going, "Why are you so surprised?" question. "How long do humans live?" question. And also I thought it was so funny how he always said question at the end of his questions because it reminded of me of my mom, like when she uses voice to text. So like listening to the audiobook, I thought that was funny. Um, but then I was like, LOL, humans I was like, LOL, wow, humans suck. I wish we could have heard Rocky's reaction to us only living up to like 100 years max. Because I was kind of upset that it just ended there. I wanted to like see his reaction. But yeah, that was one of my favorite things too. That like humans were pretty lame compared to Iridians.
Yeah.
5 stars for you. Love how funny it was and the dialogue. Yes. You grabbed it. Didn't annotate or anything, but I marked a couple parts. Okay, cool. Loved when Rocky said Rylan is bad at math. Yeah. I thought that was funny. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think I dog-eared a whole page too. Page 172 is when he like meets Rocky. Or like a couple pages before that. But 172 I have the whole thing dog-eared because it was just pure gold, that whole scene when he first meets him, and then he goes, "Also, until I hear otherwise, his name is Rocky." Oh, that was so funny.
That's cute.
Yeah, the audiobook was really great. So if you ever decide to reread Janelle, you should get the audiobook because it
Yes.
was really,
I definitely plan to actually read through it and finish it
yeah.
because I was enjoying it. For the live show purposes, I needed to read the chapter summary so I
Yeah,
knew
just
what was going on.
yeah. Um, yeah, also when um Rocky had to go eat, I thought that was so interesting how like eating for them was like a private thing and like cuz it was gross, like the descriptions of how he eats was so weird, but like it was just so cool and interesting. I loved how like intricate Andy Weir went into creating a whole new species. Like
Yeah.
that is incredible.
Yeah.
Um I had sometimes a hard time like picturing what Rocky looked like, but obviously like he just um compared him to like a dog-sized spider. So like that's what I kept trying to envision, but I don't know. I wish there was like a movie or something. I wonder if the movie would be really good. But yeah, this was so fun.
Yeah. I was surprised at how, like, I was surprised that it wasn't dense. Like, I feel like a lot of sci-fis can be really dense and like just like
Yeah.
there's so much information. So it's a lot of like informative writing that's like not the most fun to read. But I was really impressed at like how fun it
Yeah.
was as like a
Yeah.
sci-fi.
Yeah, the fun parts definitely outweighed all of like the slower parts that I didn't care too much for. Um and it was just so like intriguing because his descriptions were so good. So it was like I want to know more about Rocky. Like I was just so in it for Rocky. Um, I also loved how they had to keep like um, exchanging like language or like keep learning each other's language, and that was like just crazy. Like if you put yourself in Ryland's position, like, I would feel so, like, lost. I wouldn't know what the heck to do, like, obviously, he knew some things, and it was, like, coming back to him as he was there, but he woke up not knowing anything, not even, like, who he was or why he was there. He didn't even know he was in a ship, but then, like, he was able to just, like, wing it, and I was like, "Good for him." Like, I really could not. I could never be like that, but the fact that he, like, was using the computer system or whatever to, like, what was it? What's the word even for that? Like, catalog what Rocky was saying and, like, adding new words and, like, figuring out what he's saying, and then I loved whenever there was, like, a new word that they discovered, and on page 280, when Ryland is talking about having to, like, leave the ship and, like, get in his suit and go out, and he goes, Rocky goes, "Humans are a maze, you leave ship." And then, um, and then he talks about how, like, Iridians never bothered to invent spacesuits. Why would they? Because they can't see. That was also interesting how, like, they see with sound. And then Rocky goes, "A maze is wrong word. A maze is compliment. Better word is doodle doo." And he goes, "What's that mean?" "It is when person not act normal. Danger to self." And he goes, "Ah, crazy. My word for that is crazy." And he goes, "Crazy. Humans are crazy." Oh, it's just so funny.
It is so funny.
But yeah, um, it was so fun. It was such a time. How they eat is gross, then how they watch each other sleep. I know, I thought that was so cute. And Rocky was just kept being like, "You watch me sleep, I watch you sleep." But yet for humans, it's the complete opposite. Yeah, I know. Imagine humans having to watch each other sleep, or imagine like eating being a gross thing. Like that would be so weird.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like it's definitely, like, more of a private thing to sleep. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to fall
opposite.
asleep in front of anybody. Like, I'm really weird about it, but I don't know if
Well,
that's, like, just a human thing or if that's, like, maybe
yeah.
I'm just, like, weird
Or
about sleep.
even just like with someone actively watching you. It's not like Rocky was just like in the same area. Like he was actively watching. Because there's the one chapter starts with Rylan saying, "I woke up with Rocky staring at me." I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's terrifying."
Yeah, I'd be scared.
An alien, dog-sized spider alien just staring at you. Um, okay, so I I'm trying to think like what page I was at um when I started to have like a theory um because the way it ended, I loved the way it ended.
Mhm.
Um we're going to just like jump all the way to the end, I guess. But I loved how Ryland ended up staying on their planet and then becoming a teacher for the little Iridians there. I thought that was so cute, but not at all how I thought it was going to go. I For some reason when I like first just like looked like based off the cover and it being like a trapped in space story, I thought it was going to end bad. Like I thought it was going to be really sad. Um Although I had not like heard a ton of people say that it was a sad story, but when people would say that like it was a 4-star throughout the whole thing and then at the 5 it just immediately jumped or what? At the end it immediately jumped to a 5.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh, is it because it, like, gets super emotional and heartbreaking?"
Yeah.
But I'm glad, like, I didn't want anyone to, like, die, or I didn't want it to be a sad story. Um, but it was just it caught me off guard. I was like, when is, like, the ship gonna go down? Like, I thought someone was gonna crash or, like
Yeah.
I mean, it was intense, like, with him, like, running out of food and not able to, like, get all the way back home and all that, but it wasn't, like, super suspenseful for me. Um, but yeah, anyway, I thought it was gonna go a completely different way, so I was, like, caught off guard when it didn't.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Rocky is described as a dog-sized spider, because then I remember later in the book that he was, like, 200 pounds, so I wanna see how Rocky looks in the movie now. Yeah, he was just dense, I think, because he wasn't, like, huge. I think he was just, like, a large dog size. But, yeah, he was so dense because he was full of, like, metal or I mean, I can't remember. He was full of something, like, super heavy. I remember when, Ryland has to, like, push him in the little ball when he comes into his ship or whatever. Um, yeah, that was kind of funny, and because like, even in, like, not full gravity, he was, like, really heavy to push around. Um, I wish, like I don't know. I feel like I want more from the ending now that we know that he spent, like, 16 or something years on their planet.
Yeah.
I want more of that. I was kind of sad that it skipped 16 years, but
Yeah.
oh, yeah, and then there's my pages that just decided to die on me. That was so weird.
Yeah. I definitely thought this book was going to end as like a mission failed book.
Yeah.
Like something happened and he got stranded because obviously it looks like he's stranded,
Yeah.
like literally just connected to a cord outside the ship.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I thought.
but I also thought that this was going to be like really heart wrenching, kind of like an Interstellar
Mhm.
thing. I don't know if everybody's seen that movie, but it is sad. It is so sad. And I thought that this was going to have like the same heaviness. I'm part of me is like I'm split. Like I'm glad that it wasn't heavy like that because I thought the ending was really sweet. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of wish I got more. Like, I don't know.
More, like I said, suspense, but, like
Yeah, like a depth to it. Like,
yeah, and, like, more not like that there weren't obstacles, like, there were lots of stuff that they had to overcome, but just more, like, um,
challenges.
challenges, yeah, just, um, oh crap moments where, like, Rocky or, Ryland does get stranded and, like, disconnected from one of the ships, and then Rocky has to go out and how would that happen, though? Because if Rocky can only see with sound and there's no sound
Right.
space, he wouldn't have been able to find Ryland. So I don't know. I mean, yeah. I just do wish that there was less of, like, the informative stuff and more action. Um, I think he's made of different metals. Yeah, I think so too. And then I thought it was interesting that they breathe ammonia and not oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that was a real, um, like, obstacle that they had to figure out and, like, overcome to try and, like, work together. Because then, yeah, he had to get in, like, a little hamster ball rolling around the ship. That's exactly what I was picturing too. Um, yeah, I mean, my small little brain couldn't really, like, picture that much more,
Yeah.
anything more complicated than that. I want the story of the young Iridian class learning from Ryland. Like, that should be a book with just that story and Ryland adjusting to Iridian life. Yeah, I think so too. I think that would be really fun if there was a sequel to that. Or, like, if they did make a movie and then the movie just, like, was extended a little bit to have, uh, that storyline too. That would be really fun. But yeah, I would love to see a movie to be able to actually visualize what the aliens look like. But it was really fun. I feel like I would want to reread it and then just like skip all the flashbacks again.
Yeah.
Because it was fun. Was there anything else that you guys didn't like about this? Because there's nothing that I really like hated, but I was just annoyed sometimes with why some things were included more than others. But let me know if there's anything you guys hated about the book or just really disliked. Yeah, the movie would be really fun. Who would be a good character for Ryland to like cast if they did make a movie? How did you picture Ryland?
I personally feel like I told Jonathan this as soon as I was like 10 pages into this book. I was like, if they make a movie, Ryland needs to be casted as like Ryan Reynolds needs to
Yeah.
be Ryland.
Oh, for sure, because it's so okay, yeah, and then Ryan Gosling too. But Ryan Reynolds because it's so
It's such his
funny.
character. Like,
Yes.
that's the type of characters that he plays. Like, he's in serious situations, but like there's like the
Yeah.
sarcasticness and like the jokes. Like, I'm like, I feel like Ryan Reynolds would like kill this.
You're right.
And like,
I didn't even think about that, but you're totally right. That would be funny. I think yeah, I mean, I would love it to be Ryan Reynolds, but I think if they actually did make a movie, it wouldn't because I think they'd want to keep it more serious.
mm-hmm.
But there does have to be like a comedic relief to it. But yeah, that would be really fun to watch if it was him. I think Ryan Gosling would be a good match for it too, though.
Yeah, I think so. I also am just a little bit biased towards Ryan Reynolds. He's like one of my favorites.
I do love Ryan Reynolds.
I
Have you seen the Adam Project?
yes,
Yeah,
I love that movie.
yeah, it's a good one.
We've been on like Jonathan and I have been on like a Ryan Reynolds high right now. So like any movie with Ryan Reynolds, we're like, let's watch it. We're watching it.
Yeah, I loved the Adam Project. I cried in it.
I know.
I agree with Janelle. Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, I mean, not really much to hate if no one has anything that they disliked about the book, because I don't have anything to say that I didn't like, other than what I've kind of already said with it being slow sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Does Andy Weir only have The Martian that he's written, or does he have more than that? Can you look that up for me? How many books does he have? Because The Martian is a movie, right?
I think.
I'm not good at this stuff. Just remembering. What is what?
Martian.
Yeah, The Martian is a.
Oh, he has a lot.
Is a book and a movie. So maybe eventually they'll have a movie for Project Hail Mary. He does have a lot?
He has The Martian. I know that's a movie, but then he has the book Artemis.
Oh, yeah.
Which is from 2017, and then one called The Egg from 2009.
Which are about Ready Player One, I believe, because Artemis and the Egg.
I think so.
Are related to the Ready Player One story.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Martian is a movie, and I want to read that book. That's my next question. If you guys would want to read that one or just anything else that Andy Weir writes, I definitely would. Especially more sci-fi by him, just to keep, because like what I love in a sci-fi is to have it feel like legit, but then not have it be dense, like Janelle had said earlier, and to have a comedic relief aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, if The Martian is also like this one, then I think I would have a really great time. So I definitely want to check that out for sure.
Yeah, I like the cover of The Martian too. At
Yeah.
least the version that I just saw on Goodreads.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Like I would want to paint that.
Yeah. Sorry I'm moving my computer so much. I have my pillow on my lap and then it just keeps bouncing. I just have it resting on my like arm of the couch because I wanted to be in front of the window. So
Yeah, natural light. That's what I'm
yeah.
using too. I mean, kind of my studio light, but it's not really making a difference at all.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to talk about with this? Because I feel like I don't have anything else I want to say. Or any more questions at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought it was funny when Rylan starts to cry or something. Or what is it? What is Yeah, I think it was just talking about like when Rylan goes to the bathroom or something. And then when he cries or sweating, just like anything like that. And then Rocky goes, "Humans leak, gross." And then Rylan's like, "On Earth, we have a scary, deadly creature called a spider. You look like one of those, just so you know." He goes, "Good, proud. I am scary space monster. You are leaky space blob."
I love it.
Yeah, it was so fun. He's like probably oh yeah, with the your face is leaking. Yeah, exactly. I feel like at the end of the year, like when we do when we talk about like our favorite books, favorite characters, like just like superlatives at the end of the year or whatever, I feel like Rocky is going to be at the top of my favorite characters list because he was
very likable.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be hard to top that. I didn't really have a favorite character that I read last year, but so far I think it's Rocky for me this year.
Yeah, I don't think I had a favorite character last year either.
Yeah. I want to be friends.
Maybe I just don't remember.
I just want to meet Rocky and be friends with him.
Yeah, I need a pet like that.
Yeah, although it would probably be weird to have to get used to the way he looks and
yeah
things he does. And, yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, anyway, I think that's about it that we wanted to talk about. So we can go ahead and wrap it up. But thank you for joining, everyone. And tomorrow, same time, we're going to be talking about The Collective on Janelle's channel. And that'll be interesting. I haven't told you any of my thoughts on that, have I yet, Janelle? Well, you watched my vlog. Dang it.
But it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, well, I can't wait to talk about that. Huh?
I've said I'm interested in how that's going to go because we have two different thoughts.
Yeah.
We haven't had that yet.
Yeah, and I kind of purposefully didn't talk too much in detail about. I guess I kind of did a little bit, but I feel like I could have talked more. But I wanted to save some for the live show about like my thoughts on it. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about it with you because we haven't talked together about it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Looking forward to that for tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for joining today, and then hopefully we'll see you tomorrow as well. But you guys have a good day as well, and we'll see you around. Bye.